7 out of 10. Why? I'll tell you why. That moment is so beautiful, and also Lemillion has a lot of screen time in this season. I love this character.
This following video contains spoilers that might upset you if you haven't watched this series. It is advised to avoid this video for your protection of not being spoiled. Also, do know that I most certainly do love the anime series and the characters, but sometimes life can be boring at times, so it's best to be a bit cringy at times. So, yeah.
Make sure a journalist will make a story out of you, then you'll for sure be the #1 hero. All Might's replacement is Deku, who will be the #1 hero in the future. However, he has a competition against... No, a good guess though. It's against... No. It's Yeah, okay. Anyways, Midoriya wants some training in and begs All Might to introduce him to his sidekick, Sir Nighteye. Yeah, that's not happening. So Mario offers to take Midoriya to see Sir Nighteye, but he has to have a good sense of humor, otherwise he will face the consequences. Well, of that. Known as tickle torture. The main role is to never offend a hardcore fanboy. If you do, then here's how to get out of it. You first have to gain Sir Nightaye's trust back by going up against him, and then avoid his merchandise. This way it shows that you respect his lifestyle. If these rules are met, you will have a stamp to be certified to prove you have the right to be trained under a sidekick, or more like you'll be the sidekick. However, just because you earned his trust and his approval of a stamp does not mean he could see you as a worthy hero, because you have to be cool like Lemillion. Shigaraki is not the main villain. Let me rephrase that. He's not the main villain yet. The main villain for this season is Overhaul. He's a Yakuza. In other words, an organized crime syndicate. He wants the League of Villains to work for him. They won't. Actually, they might think about it. Red Riot, Sun Eater, Froppy, Nidori-chan, and Uravity will have more screen time. Oh, as well as their mentor Ryuku and Fat Gum. We'll talk about them later. Maybe. I don't know. I want the focus to be on bandages? Birdman. Okay, Deku, you have to protect her at all costs. Why? Why did you let her go? Forget the rules, man. A girl's crying for help. Well, darn. Yeah, alright, I'm done being emotional, because truth of the matter is that Lemillion, in my opinion, made the right choice of letting Eri go, because one, if they took action at that moment, they either would have been killed, have other citizens be in danger, or police would take the heroes to the police center and will have to talk to their mentor, and if that happened, then it would take a while to save Eri because Overhaul would have probably changed his location. I mean, after all, Nighteye has been searching for him for quite some time, so yeah. Deku has too many things running in his head, and I mean like too, such as saving Eri, and All Might's reason as to why Sir Nighteye is not his sidekick anymore. He can't save Eri because he has no location as to where she is at the moment, so he goes to talk to All Might about why Sir Nighteye is not his sidekick, and Deku tells him, "I'm asking not as a fan, but as your successor." Wow. Deku chose his words very wisely because All Might decided to tell him the truth. All Might said Sir Nighteye was the brain of his operation, and they did an amazing work together. But that all changed when All Might received an injury. Yeah, that was it. That's why they don't work together.
Huh?
Oh, I guess I should elaborate on the fact that Sir Nighteye saw a future of All Might's death, and since then, they haven't been working together. It's okay because his successor, Midoriya, will fight fate with All Might so that he will live another day. Hooray! Shigaraki thought it over about working with Overhaul and decides he will work under Overhaul. Shigaraki is up to something. I just know it. I mean, he clearly didn't want to work under Stain, which makes you think, why would he work for Overhaul? Oh well, Overhaul will eventually get backstabbed. It's Shigaraki we're talking about here. Anyways, Sir Nighteye makes a meeting with some heroes. Guess who's having most screen time? Yep, Red Riot, Sun Eater, Nidori-chan, Froppy, Gravity, and some other heroes that may or may not get a whole lot of screen time. They discuss the plans that the Yakuza are planning for the future. They talk about this object known as the Red Shot that Kirishima has retrieved on the mission because he's awesome. The effects of the bullets make them lose their quirks temporarily, or make their quirks stronger. It depends on whose side you're on. This Red Shot is all made by human blood and cells. Yep, Overhaul is cruel. Downright brutal. He has the ability to disassemble anything he touches as well as reassemble it in any configuration he desires. My heart is sinking for Eri. Someone save this girl already, please. Finally, they're going to save Eri from Overhaul. Thanks to Sir Nightaye's foresight, of course. The heroes split up and Lemillion and Deku are going in to save Eri with the other heroes. However, Overhaul is escaping with Eri as his men take care of the heroes. Coward! I mean it. Coward! Mimicry tries to stop them, but it only stops most heroes because Lemillion went on ahead to go save Eri. The other heroes fall in a hole and now they must fight the villains. Sun Eater will defeat the first few enemies as they go on ahead, and he has flashbacks of him and Mario being best pals, and this is how he defeated the enemies by having a flashback moment. Man, it would be so cool to see him and Mario do a duo battle. Next up is Red Riot and Fat Gum, who go up against the other enemies. Kirishima has a flashback of looking up to Crimson Riot, Oshido, and Midoriya, but mostly Crimson Riot. Well, he blocks the enemy's attack. I guess the flashback moments is what really helps defeat the enemies, huh? Anyways, Fat Gum and Red Riot together defeated the enemies. Or maybe not?
There's a back room where we can go and get ourselves patched up.
Huh? Oh, okay. I guess he's going to help them as he tells his backstory of how he met Overhaul. And he was eliminated by Overhaul 5 times. Yeah, Overhaul has some messed up quirk. Now, as that is going on, we'll jump into the other heroes who are trying to save Eri, and they're having a bit of a problem with Mimicry's quirk. Luckily, Rocklock has the ability to lock things in place, and Midoriya decides to destroy the walls so Mimicry has a disadvantage in dealing with them. That doesn't stop his strategy because his next move is to separate them all. And man, does it suck for Rocklock being ambushed with 2 villains in the room. Come on now. Midoriya hears Rocklock in pain on the other side of the wall. And Deku breaks down the other side of the wall and realizes there are 2 Rocklock, one being injured and the other one being Toga in disguise, who goes after Midoriya's blood. However, Midoriya dodges it just a bit. Toga then targets Eraserhead and escapes. I knew it all along. They were all backstabbing Overhaul from the beginning. I'm not even that surprised. Great. Just great. Of all times, he perfected the Red Shot that can take away the quirk for good. Now what? Really? You have so many enemies trying to attack Lemillion, then you try to kill Eri even though she's been through enough. You have your sidekick let Lemillion lose his quirk, and then when he decides to keep fighting without a quirk, you have the nerve to stab him? Oh, have I mentioned how Shei Hasuki took him in, and what does he do in return? Well, he puts him on his rest bed because Overhaul thinks of using Eri is of good use, who's Hasukai's granddaughter, and told him not to use her for his ideas. You know what he does? He believes his experience will make the world a better place. The real question is, where the heck is Deku? And where the heck are the other heroes? Oh, thank goodness, finally. Let's save Eri! Sir Nighteye saves Eri and Lemillion as Deku tries to fight Overhaul. Sadly, Lemillion loses his power and struggles in saving Eri as Sir Nighteye is injured. Sir Nighteye sees a future where Deku could possibly be done for. And Overhaul, being a jerk that he is, used with Nemoto, and I can't say that he's deceased, he's just used with Overhaul. He then tells Eri that these people are only getting hurt because of her. Rude. This ticks Deku off, as it should, because Overhaul tries to put fear into the sweet little girl Eri. And now Deku is trying to attack him and defeat him. But things come crashing down thanks to Toga helping the heroes temporarily so that they can capture Eri themselves. Can everyone just leave this poor little girl alone? Eri is, however, captured by Overhaul. Then there was a flashback as to how Eri's mom doesn't care for her daughter since her husband disappeared after Eri used her quirk on her dad, who vanished. Been alone for a long time and scared. But Eri decided once and for all to be saved by Deku because she wants to trust that he can save her from the darkness she's been living with. Poof! Oh, there they are. Overhaul, being possessive of Eri, goes out of control into going in his final form, fusing with Rikia to fight a student named Deku. Deku goes in full mode with his quirk since he has Eri to help him. Thankfully, because she has the ability to rewind the state of a living being, because Deku would have been one heck of a lousy hero who wouldn't be able to save Eri. Achako, being worried for Deku's sake, tries to help him, but she's out of luck because she's weak at the moment. It's good though, Deku has it, he's the main character. I mean, at least it's no slideshow like Lemillion and Overhaul's battle, which I'm a bit disappointed about that. But Deku was animated wonderfully in defeating Overhaul, or more like Eri saved the day, by rewinding Rikia out of Overhaul's body and Deku going into full mode. After they defeated Overhaul, Deku and Eri comes down from the ground, but Eri doesn't know how to control her quirk, so Deku is still being rewind, which isn't good at the moment, and luckily Eraserhead is there to save them both by using his quirk to erase Eri's quirk temporarily. The Shei Hasakai organization is arrested, and the League of Villains go into hiding. Or so I thought. Unfortunately, these officers didn't do a good job in stopping the League of Villains. They go to Overhaul for his red shots, and afterwards, Mr. Compress takes his left arm for payback, and Overhaul demands to give him back his red shots. Sorry, dude, but again, Shigaraki doesn't take orders from anyone. And he disintegrates his right arm for giving him orders. Shigaraki has a bit of mercy for Overhaul and takes out his knife and uses it to amputate his arm, preventing him from dying. Who am I kidding? He has no mercy for anyone. I'm being honest, he's just making him suffer more. We now get to the part where Eri has a fever, but luckily she is in a safe place. Deku has hardly any injuries during the battle thanks to Eri. All the other heroes are fine with a few injuries, but for some reason, All Might is there at the hospital because, well, Nighteye needs to say a few last words. He says a few words to All Might, and he says nothing in return. All Might, come on, dude, I know you want to say something. Deku tells Nighteye to keep on living, and All Might agrees. And All Might finally said something and said he wants to make amends with him. Sir Nighteye said that can be done now, but he has one regret. And that's when Lemillion rushed into the room and begged his mentor to not leave him yet because he has so much to learn from him. Sir Nighteye used his quirk one last time on Lemillion and assured him that he will become an outstanding hero as he closed his eyes and smiled and said his goodbyes as he passed away peacefully. As for the things happening in the hospital, we get to talk about the other mission that Gran Torino and Tsukachi go to and have tracked down Kuroguri thanks to eyewitness reports. They caught Kuroguri so that Kuroguri couldn't protect Shigaraki. and he will now go behind bars. But some random giant appears to them with boombox, and Kuroguri said he's the replacement in protecting Shigaraki. Unfortunately for Torino and Tsukachi and for the rest of the officers there, they can't capture this giant known as Gigantomachia because it's too powerful. Back to the hospital once again, Deku and the other students are now able to go back to school. Eri and Mario are to stay in the hospital though. Deku wants to stay with Eri until she's better, but he has to go to school. No! So he goes on to check on Mario, who is surprisingly okay despite all that has happened to him. Midoriya feels guilty for Mario and feels like he has failed on the mission, so he decides to give his quirk to Mario. But Mario's cool because he declines it and doesn't understand why the heck Midoriya feels like he did a bad job. Also, why is Deku refilling how his quirk can work? That's very dangerous. Also, Mario believes that Eri will learn how to control her powers, and once that happens and she feels comfortable using her quirk, then he would like to ask her if she can rewind his powers back to him. Finally, we get to Deku, Red Riot, Froppy, and Uravity going home and resting as Bakugo and Todoroki have to face their biggest challenge yet in order to get their hero license, as well as the other side character. And it's not to save people, but it's to overcome how to deal with kids. Thank you all for watching this. I hope you all enjoyed it. I sure did. And yeah, there was a lot of ranting. Anyways, I love you all. Have a wonderful and good day. Not kidding. Love you all. Bye.